All right, well, speaking of Fifth Avenue, what are your thoughts on Trump saying that he has $500 million in cash on hand, despite... he is something. Despite his lawyers claiming that he couldn't post his $454 million bond. Yes, he wants you to know he has the money. He just won't give you the money because it's not fair. It's just fair.
There is some associate who had plans tonight at some law firm who is instead having to write a memo to the judge about how what they said was true, but also they're sorry that their client went out and said this other. I mean, being Trump's lawyers is the worst job.
In a sharp and entertaining segment, Real Time with Bill Maher zeroed in on Donald Trump's controversial financial claims. During a spirited exchange, Bill Maher and political analyst Sarah Isgur unpacked Trump's bold statement that he has $500 million in cash, an eye-catching claim that clashes directly with his legal team's argument that he couldn't afford a $454 million bond. This striking contradiction became the heart of their discussion, highlighting serious concerns about Trump's financial transparency and the awkward spot his lawyers are now in. With Maher's signature wit and Isgur's sharp insights, the conversation delivered a powerful take on how Trump's dramatic public declarations are creating big challenges for his legal defense. Don't miss this eye-opening breakdown. Tune in to hear what they had to say.
Glory. No, he actually just got this guy is the luckiest guy in the world, but Trump Social, Trump Social, but Truth Social just got permission to go public.
Right.
And so his stake, because it's a meme stock, a little like GameStop, is worth $3.5 billion right now, and it could go higher if people bid it up.
He definitely made a deal with the devil. That's
something.
Because he always lucks out on everything.
Yeah.
He has the best enemies. Look at Michael Avenatti. Look at Fonnie Willis now in Georgia. The best enemies.
Right.
It helps him so much.
And Merrick Garland fucked it all up. He's dithered now we're probably not even going to see any of the trials.
The discussion began with Trump's claim of financial strength, which the panel saw as a strategic move to project power and stability, regardless of his actual financial obligations. This carefully crafted narrative supports the larger image Trump has built over time, that of a resilient, successful figure who always stays on top. Next, attention turned to the uphill battle faced by his legal team. They're constantly walking a tightrope, trying to bridge the gap between Trump's bold public declarations and the arguments they present in court. His spontaneous remarks often complicate their work, exposing the unique challenges of defending a high-profile and unpredictable client. Finally, the conversation explored how Trump seems to turn controversy into opportunity. Even when facing inconsistencies, like conflicting financial claims, he often spins the narrative to reinforce his image as a fighter who thrives under pressure. Altogether, the segment revealed how Trump blurs the line between fact, strategy, and performance, masterfully using both legal challenges and public scrutiny to strengthen his enduring political brand.
Monopoly. Is it right? Yeah, well, the department has joined, I think, 16 states.
I'm aware. It's been a long time coming, and I think they haven't gone after any tech company. And these are big companies, and a lot of companies think they're taking too much fee, and there's no other choice. So
explain it to someone who doesn't give a shit about whether I can.
Well, some people argue they just make a great computer, and you want to be part of their system, right? That's one argument for them. And
I thought this was like the messaging is more difficult. Like if you have Android and I have Apple.
I have a mixed marriage.
Yeah.
It can be very challenging to have an Android iPhone marriage. With children, what are they going to have? I don't know.
Just so you know, iPhone.
So what? I mean, maybe I'm
just... green dot racism of our time. That's what people are...
But I never have not been able to get a message through to someone who had a different type of phone, I don't think.
That means you had cell phone reception the whole time instead of Wi-Fi, because the cell phone reception, maybe you can't get,
it's a question of choice. Why do we not get choice? And if these companies are too big, eventually it's their choice, not yours. And so they're unaccountable, and they can do whatever they want.
But also DOJ has a horrible record on their antitrust suits so far over the last several years, so don't hold your breath.
Sorry, that's because we haven't updated antitrust laws in 100 years.
Antitrust laws are totally made up.
So
No, I mean, they just say like competition, like we don't have antitrust
They're
laws.
not defining them correctly in the new modern.
Karis Risha emphasizes that fostering innovation and fair competition is crucial in today's tech-driven world. She warns that without proper oversight, the unchecked dominance of tech giants can crush smaller startups and limit consumer choice. To level the playing field, Risha advocates for updated antitrust regulations, ones that support new entrants, fuel innovation, and encourage healthy competition. At the same time, Sarah Isger highlights the darker side of tech monopolies. She explains how major corporations exploit outdated regulatory systems to maintain their dominance, using vast legal and financial resources to create barriers for competitors. While they may appear to follow the rules, these companies often twist regulations to serve their own interests. For example, by enforcing restrictive App Store policies or giving preferential treatment to their own products. Together, their insights paint a compelling picture of the ongoing battle to balance innovation with regulation, ensuring the tech world remains dynamic, competitive, and open to fresh ideas.
If we didn't break up AT&T, like we wouldn't, Standard Oil would still be running things. Giant companies, by their very nature, are unaccountable and get to do what they want, and that's always hurts competition. I'm interested in startups in AI, for example, being able to thrive. And so the whole strength of our country over something like China is that we go from the bottom up, not the top down.
But standard.
But do you know what made all of those companies so powerful was the government regulations, because they could have the lawyers and the teams to do that the little guys then can't compete. Big companies love all those regulations.
No,
It
there
helps
aren't
them.
regulations. That's the whole point. Do you know how many regulations there are specifically addressing tech companies? Zero. And the one that does, actually, there is one that's Section 230, which is much debated. It gives them broad immunity. So they could walk down Fifth Avenue and hurt the self-esteem.
The discussion underscores a major problem. Today's antitrust laws are outdated. Originally crafted to break up industrial monopolies like Standard Oil, these laws weren't built to handle the unique dynamics of the tech world. Unlike traditional industries, tech giants gain dominance not through pricing, but through platform ecosystems, network effects, and control over digital infrastructure. These modern tactics foster monopolistic behavior that current regulations struggle to address. Issues like platform lock-in and exclusionary App Store practices fall outside the scope of laws that focus mainly on price or market share. Without modernized antitrust frameworks, consumers could face fewer choices, higher costs, and a slowdown in innovation, especially in key areas like AI and digital services. Yet there's a delicate balance to strike. Over-regulating tech could risk choking the very innovation that fuels economic growth and technological progress. For policymakers, the challenge is clear: create smart, forward-thinking regulations that protect competition without stifling the next big breakthrough.
Polls that suggest men are getting more conservative and women more liberal. Oh, well, duh. It's not a...
I read that and I asked my 15-year-old daughter Molly the question, and right away, without skipping a beat, she said, women are getting too much power and men don't like that. And I thought about it, and I thought about the abortion ruling in Texas, harder there to get an abortion than anywhere else. Individual counties are now banning women from driving on their roads to leave the state to go get an abortion in New Mexico or someplace where it's legal. The IVF ruling in Alabama, it's not about life, it's about control, and it's about power. And I think that helps to explain some of that divide that we're seeing right now. But it also gives me some hope that women in Texas, across this country, who understand this and are living through it more than anyone else, are going to help lead the comeback against it. So watch out in Texas, watch out across this country.
I have 3 boys, and I have to say they're not that way. It's not because I raise them that way. They get to do whatever they want. But it's a really interesting thing, because we talk about this idea, and I think what they want to do is not be jerks, essentially. They're trying to sort of avoid that. And it's really difficult that everyone has to sort of, as you were saying earlier, name themselves. You have to always put labels on yourself. And I think young people, especially 18 to 25, really just don't want that in lots of ways. They want to be told what to do, not necessarily not told what to do, but not define themselves. And I think if we just stop doing that a lot more, it would be...
Recent polls reveal a growing ideological divide. Men are increasingly leaning conservative, while women are trending more liberal. This shift has sparked a broader conversation about the social and political forces driving the change. Bick explained that this divide reflects deeper struggles over individual rights and personal freedoms. He noted that restrictive policies, particularly those limiting personal autonomy, have led many women to embrace more progressive views, as these issues have a direct impact on their everyday lives. Thanks for tuning in to our discussion. If you found this content insightful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking videos.